So let's talk about Pop Smoke, one of the biggest what ifs of this entire rap generation. And seeing a rapper with so much potential taken from him at such a young age at the start of his peak, man, it's truly heartbreaking. Only releasing 2 projects and being a leader in the Brooklyn drill scene, the what ifs and possibilities for where Pop Smoke could have been in 2023 are truly endless. And although this video is hypothetical, I want to go deep and I want to look at where I think Pop Smoke would have taken his career. And in this video, we're going to go through different outcomes and really think where I could see him taking his career if he was still alive. Now, we're going to have fun with this shit, but before we do that, let's just talk about Pop Smoke. Well, for people who don't know, he was one of the biggest revolutionaries in the New York drill scene in general. He went from a neighborhood hero to a mainstream star in the matter of months. And since his passing, although there's been a few rappers to blow up big, no one has been even close to bringing the drill scene to the level Pop had it in 2019. Especially with the police being heavily involved nowadays to put an end to drill music. But when Pop Smoke was alive, he had the whole country getting sturdy. He built his hype in the Brooklyn drill scene fast, and after releasing Welcome to the Party, it was go time, because his level of fame was getting higher and higher. The artists he was working with went from city rappers to Travis Scott and top tier artists. His shows will go from clubs to stadiums, and his numbers will go from average to superstar. And this all happened in months. Because truly, if you weren't tapped into Pop Smoke when he was on his come up, from the time he got real mainstream exposure to the time of his death, it wasn't even a full year. And out of all the rappers that left us, man, this dude left us on the biggest cliffhanger right when he took off. He was becoming so famous, and he just did, man. He had one of the most creative voices we heard in a minute. He was getting the UK drill beats and just fucking shit up, bro, and it's really devastating what happened. After climbing the ranks and becoming everybody's favorite drill rapper, before his death, he would already start experimenting with other sounds. As most of us heard on his Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon project, where he gave us some of the most old school vibes, melodic, hip hop, and of course his classic drill sound. And all of this experimenting would go on his post-death album. This album was executively produced by 50 Cent, and we're gonna talk about more of that in a little bit, but with him passing in such an early stage in his career, this post-death album would be his debut album. And it's in a way sad that when this album came out, it would bring Pop's name to a level bigger than it ever was when he was alive. And although he was heading in that direction, man, his post-death album debuted at 1 with 250K first week sales. And overall, we don't even gotta talk about numbers, cause this album's effect on the culture was evident. Man, when I tell you everybody had a song on this project they fucked with, everybody. And the album would literally be everywhere. The vibe was so fire, it was one of the most successful albums of the entire year. It had every type of song you wanted. And with all the positives from this amazing release, the one negative sticking out in almost every person's mind was the potential that this person had that was taken away from us so early on. And after hearing the newest sound he had been working on before his death, man, saying where he could have been if he was still alive is an almost impossible task, because the opportunities and pathways he had were truly endless. And that's why in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 different outcomes and scenarios where I could have seen Pop Smoke taking his career. Now let's not waste no time, because the first outcome is the outcome that I really feel would have happened if he never passed. Because since he died and 50 Cent had a lot to do with that album, man, that's the main reason it was so hip hop. But if Pop Smoke was still here in 2020 going into his debut album following Meet the Woo 2, yeah, he might have been working on different lanes of music, but so is every other artist in the studio who's trying to explore their sound and, see what sounds good. But who knows if he even wanted to pursue that route of hip hop, you know what I mean? Who knows if he even wanted to put that music out? Because let's not forget who he was before he died, man. He was the king of drill. He was the one who brought New York drill music to a mainstream level. And it's yet to go back to that. Favi can't hold the weight Pop Smoke did, and K-Fly got arrested, and you know what I'm saying? It's just, ain't nobody able to do what Pop did. So with that said, I feel like he was a true drill rapper. And I feel like his next project would have been a Brooklyn drill project. Most street rappers don't go outside the box for a while, and if they do, it's very subtle. Maybe the last track on a project, but they really don't do that shit heavily. So I think he would have continued his career and went down as like a New York drill superstar and brought that subgenre to the top of mainstream the way like Young Thug and Future brought trap to the, you know what I'm saying, the same way. Because before and after Pop Smoke, no one was able to blow up or reach the level that he's reached. And having a drill hit that would reach the masses rather than just the city, man, that's crazy. The fact that Pop Smoke did that shit multiple times is mind-blowing. So what I'm saying is 50 Cent producing his posthumous album, man, his sound was more dragged into a mainstream approach, which is totally fine because it did amazing numbers. and it made great money for his family. And I know that his family didn't even plan on dropping nothing, so 50's real for stepping in and doing all that. But still, I'm just keeping it real. I'm saying if he was never to pass, I really feel like he would have stayed more in his true direction of music, which was drill, and he really would have taken drill music to the top. I mean, K-Flock, Diddy, Osama, and more of these big faces coming up since, but they haven't been able to reach the level that Pop was. And who knows, bro? Another quick counter narrative is that Pop Smoke could have got arrested, man. The way they be cracking down on these drill rappers is crazy, and it's almost like you can't avoid it if you're a New York drill rapper. But who knows, man? These are just all scenarios. Now, with that all being the first type outcome, saying that he goes far with his drill music, now the second one only feels right to say that he decided to go that mainstream approach, and his debut album was actually similar to the one that 50 put together. What would that have been like if he was alive? Because like I said, of course this is hypothetical, but I feel like that's just as probable that he was going to experiment with his sound on the next tape, which then he might not even have gotten the same praise right away, bro. Imagine they didn't fuck with it. Imagine they were like, bro, you're a drill rapper. I could definitely see that, but I could also see that just blowing him up completely, because he's such a likable character and people just really liked Pop Smoke, bro. He was a cool dude, laid back dude, comes from Brooklyn, like he was just a respectable guy, man. We all respect Pop Smoke and we know he appealed to the masses. So if he was still alive with that more mainstream approach and continue working with big names in the industry, I could definitely see Pop Smoke just taking over completely. I'm not sure if he did or didn't, but I know he was supposed to go on tour with Travis Scott, who is one of the most famous performing artists in the world. So Pop Smoke clearly was going up and up, and he was so young, man. That's the thing, he was so young. The possibility that he was gonna change his sound more mainstream eventually, I mean, that shit is very likely. And although not as fast, I think he definitely would have had major success with that route as well. So with the first one being he stays more true to himself with drill, second one being that he kind of goes into that mainstream genre, the last outcome again, it's also a happy ending. And I usually don't like to only have good outcomes in my videos, but to be honest, saying that he would fall off for his career when it worked out, it doesn't even feel right. He literally became so successful so fast and built such a real fan base in such a short amount of time that I cannot see him falling off. So with that said, what's the last outcome? Well, the last outcome's got to do with his mainstream appeal, and I'ma keep this short and sweet. I think he would have appealed to the youth the way old heads fuck with Snoop Dogg. Not exactly the same, but you feel what I mean. And in 10 plus years, while a lot of rappers are known for their music, I think he could have gone so far just for him as a person. In just his 1 year of fame, people built such a connection with Pop Smoke, it really affected so many people when he passed. Plus, in his year of fame, he had so many interview clips and just real life viral moments. Like, he was just a likable person, like I said, and a reason for his fame and level of success, as much as it was the music was hard as fuck, like he was right there to back it up. That's why Dusty Locan or whatever that dude's name didn't really work out. Like he just ain't have that same like aura that Pop Smoke be walking around with. Like you just had to respect Pop Smoke. And with that said, that's why I think the last outcome is he would have ran rap 5-6 years, done whatever he had to do with a successful career, yeah, but transforming into a Hollywood star like a lot of other rappers. I could have definitely seen that for Pop Smoke, and I feel like this outcome would have been very probable. His music was so fire, and the other two outcomes focus more on his music creating his legacy, but I feel like I'd be wrong to not include just his mainstream and Hollywood approach, because the potential he had with that is truly unmatched. Out of any rapper in the industry right now, they kind of move a little awkward, anxious, just because that's who they are. Man, Pop Smoke just was different than that, but he still had all the street swagger that a rapper has. He still had all that same appeal, but the dude was really just chill as fuck. Now, out of all three of these outcomes, which one do you guys think? Comment right now which one you guys think, man. This is hard. He was such a successful artist that, man, it's really hard to predict where he'd be. Now, I'm not gonna lie, in my personal opinion, I really think that the first outcome was the most probable. To be honest, I could just see him just becoming a drill rapper, just putting out drill bangers. And while he would have done other type of shit, I don't think he would have done it as heavy as he did it on his post-death album. I do think that was kind of forced a little bit. And then by the time his second post-death album came out, it was a complete money scheme. That shit had nothing to do with Pop Smoke, you know what I mean? And Pop Smoke really is one of the saddest cases in this entire generation of rap because, man, the possibilities are endless. But you guys comment below what you think out of these outcomes. And it's been your boy 10 Toes, and I'll catch you.